Artists, quote unquote, are molding over PewDiePie's art progress. This user called DefTink on Twitter tweeted, if PewDiePie drawing every day for a year and getting a little bit better made you quit art, and you were never going to make it as an artist anyway. At PewDiePie, you're hurting artists by drawing because you have time and money. I quit. I mean, this is a tweet. It's not a real tweet. It's paraphrasing, but still. How PewDiePie's drawing made half the art community quit. You're hurting artists by drawing is top-level insanity. PewDiePie has time and money. He spent less than an hour a day and just used free YouTube videos. This is the video that I want to react to. So let's check out this video.
PewDiePie challenged himself to become as good as, if not better than, the art community over the span of 30 days, then 100 days, and now he has decided to challenge himself and see how much he could improve over 365.
I mean, TBH, if you draw 1 hour per day over the span of 100 days, he's probably doing more than most people already. You improve a lot. You improve a shit. Drawing is like being good at FPS. It's a skill that you keep by using. You have to use it very often. Once you stop using it, you become a little worse. You just have to keep drawing to get better. That's it. There's some initial talent that goes into it. Some people are more gifted than others, but after that, it's really mostly practice. Honestly, most skills will improve with practice every day. True.
Days, which is an entire year. But unfortunately for PewDiePie, his art progress has somehow struck a nerve with artists making excuses saying, if you have any amount of free time you want due to being a millionaire and gifted genetics.
Bro, people sieve and mold at millionaires all the time. They're like, if you're a millionaire, you got blood money on your hand. And to that, I'll just say, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, my dear. You know, if you live under a roof, if you live in a house, in an apartment, there are some people that don't have a house. There's some people that don't have an apartment, you know? It's a competitive market. By taking this apartment, I am preventing somebody else from habiting there. And it's also driving the price market up for the entire market. And things like that, you know, it can be seen in every aspect of capitalism. It's not a fair game. It wasn't meant to be fair. If you have any amount of free time you want due to being a millionaire and gifted genetics from your parents, where is the gifted genetics from your parents? Are his parents artists? Then you can learn to draw after a whole year of effort. No, you don't need to be a millionaire, actually. You can learn to draw for free after a whole year of effort, yes. Great to see the wave of artists shitting on anyone who can't draw each time as one of these comes out. The artists shitting on each other's, I don't get that. That is vile. That has been a problem in the art community. This guy, I've seen some of his videos before. He often documents these and it's pretty crazy.
From your parents, then you too can learn to draw after a year of effort. I gave away my life for this and he draws like it was nothing. Good for PewDiePie and genuinely impressed, but I'm discouraged at the fact that I've been drawing for years and I'm still horrible.
Okay, well, this one's just it. He's not mad at PewDiePie. That's not a bad comment. He just says he's discouraged. There are some better ways to learn than others. Like, I'm gonna go back to being good at FPS. Like, I could play 100 games. Could play 100 games of League and never get better because I'm playing on autopilot and I keep repeating the same mistakes. The most efficient way to improve is to play one game, VAR review it, see what you can do better, you know, analyze it. Then you have to do, oh shit, there's a word for it. I can't remember, but it's some sort of like focused improvement where every time you're focusing on something specific you want to improve. And that's the best way to do it, but it's way more mentally taxing. Oi, you! Yeah, you! Hi! If you're not subscribed to my second channel, I don't know what you're doing with your life. So take a moment, press the like button, press the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell on. And thank you so much. I appreciate you. Now let's get back into the video.
At it because I'm a terrible learner, while others started leaving comments about PewDiePie and several controversial moments in his career. Isn't this the same guy who said the hard R? He should draw the iconic bridge moment. A shame that he's racist and a white supremacist. PewDiePie has had his fair share of internet controversies.
Yeah, everybody's a white supremacist nowadays.
But that didn't stop him from pursuing art and trying to improve harder than last time. Comparing his art from the start and after he completed his 100-day challenge, it Safe
That's
to say he's
beautiful.
quite decent for a person stumbling around and trying to find their way with art. So let's see how much he improved after deciding to focus on art for an entire year.
Day 1. A self-portrait?
I think every artist can relate to these early drawings from Pewdiepie. We all started out with pretty bad drawings, regardless of how much you improved.
Yeah, he can draw better than me. Time to dig up some skeletons in his closet. What did he do years ago? Yeah. Let me take out some completely unrelated stuff to paint him as a bad person.
Along the way, we all started out making bad drawings, and that's totally fine. It's part of the process and what makes everyone unique, but still yet the same. Because when you go back and look at your early drawings and compare that with your current drawings, you should be able to see some improvement and be proud of yourself, no matter how small the improvement is.
Here's when I started to look up tutorials and stuff online. You think it'd be better, but they all kind of look like they have some sort of allergy. Like they ate a lobster and they have a seafood allergy. The chin is very big. I probably would have made it something more like, I wonder if I can fix this. I feel bad for future past self.
Oh, that's cute. Him being able to see the mistakes he made earlier on is a clear indicator of making progress in your art.
But after 30 days, this was the progress of my first video.
Oh shit, he got so much better.
Yeah, I think I should be, because the progress is definitely there. So this is my progress after 82 days, 84. And I really think here's where I peaked in terms of if you wanted to just improve as much as possible in the shortest time.
Now this is where it starts to get interesting. As Pewdiepie started getting closer to drawing for 100 days.
Dude, there's something about green-haired woman. That is beautiful. Is that ink? Or is it like a feutre? A Sharpie? Yeah, that looks so good.
During his challenge, his improvement was now getting clearly
Fauna
obvious,
is
especially when he
yes.
placed the drawings from day 1 beside this one. Even comparing the drawings from
yeah, it looks like watercolor, right?
day 30
so
and
pretty.
these ones, you can tell he made a good amount of progress for someone who just started out drawing.
So, let's check the progress from there on. That's wrong. First of all, don't do what I did. I just kept drawing the same things. Anime girl. Too much anime.
Draw
I don't think
horses.
there's necessarily anything wrong in drawing anime girls or having an art style that looks like anime. Although what I'll suggest is instead of drawing the same faces over and over, you could practice doing turnarounds of the head from different angles and then slowly transition into drawing the torso and then the arms and every other part of the body. Practicing
there was a free run. Do you guys see that?
body part from different angles will make you so much better at drawing from your imagination.
Yeah, this guy
and
could do
even
great
drawing with
ASMR.
reference if you have to.
Get into. Yeah, just sketching random stuff I find online. Finally, I move on and I draw boys. This is the boys arc. I drew so much guys from anime because
Is that Gojo?
I drew so
it
many.
is.
You
And
probably
Megumi.
recognize these. I think this is Jujutsu
That's
Kaisen.
So it seems
what's his
PewDiePie was
name?
drawing a lot from all
The guy from Jujutsu Kaisen that has the heavenly pact.
he was watching and was basically just copying the poses and faces from whatever inspired him to draw, which is a good way to practice. But a better and faster way to practice will be to break down each pose into shapes and then solely focus on using simple shapes for the poses before then trying to learn anatomy and the muscles. Once you understand how the shapes translate into each pose, drawing the muscles over them will be so
I don't know. I always used to start my drawings with like, you know, the triangles, the silhouettes, you know, placing the medium, because they tell you to place the medium, the anchor first, and doing the lines. But then when I watch mangakas or like professional artists, they don't even do that. They just they'll start drawing the shoulder. They just do the outline.
much easier as you progress. A good book to learn this is Michael Hampton's figure drawing design book, and you can also pair it with simplified anatomy. If
I would do like those things first and then draw it, but then when I watch like really good like mangakas and stuff, they just do it. Fuck it.
Hampton's figure drawing design book, and you can also pair it with simplified anatomy if you're trying to learn anatomy and how to see the muscles as shapes.
Chefs don't need to measure, they just throw in the ingredients. if I did that, then the feet would like, it's like I'd get to the bottom of the sheet and oh shit, I'm out of room. The feet will have to go on the next page.
This book is TB Choi's Character Design Arts book. That's a really good book as well. I'll leave the links in the description to all of these books.
Another thing was that people said I had an art background. That was like a rumor that went around. And I guess I take that as a compliment, but no, I do not. I have not studied art. That was the whole point of this video. I was not being disingenuous. I have not drawn since I was a kid, but I loved doing Photoshop. Before YouTube, I loved Photoshopping images.
This was also something I saw a lot of people mentioning in the first video I made. People kept on assuming he had an art background or had done art before.
Yeah, I saw this comment a lot as well.
According to him, he just drew a little bit when he was a child, which I'm guessing all of us did. Would you then call that a background in art? I don't think so.
No,
but I think the biggest sort of thing that helped is that I'm actually old.
I doodled so much in class. I never paid attention to any of my class. I was always daydreaming and doodling things. I had a phase, well, you guys are gonna do horse jokes, but I had a phase where I only drew horses and pterodactyls. I don't know why, I was obsessed with pterodactyls, dinosaurs. The pterodactyls was in kindergarten. And I remember being insulted because I showed the drawing to my teacher and she said she thought it was a whale. And I was like, it's not a whale. Yeah, I had a dinosaur face where I was like obsessed with dinosaurs. And then it was horses. The P is silent. What? Pterodactyls? How is it silent? It's the first letter of the word. Moving on.
Like, I'm 35 now, and I think if I did this thing when I was younger, I would not have seen the same improvement. But I also think, you know, the improvement I had, anyone can achieve. Like, I wanted my video to be inspiring for other people to do the same thing.
Wow. Well, I believe this is enough proof that age has nothing to do with how much you can improve with your art. As long as you're dedicated.
Yes, but I think when you're older, you put a little bit more thoughts into what you do, maybe.
And practicing consistently, you're definitely going to see some form of improvement.
So I bought this pen.
Well, in French, it's called pterodactyle, by the way, chat. So the P is there. The P is not silent. I don't know why your language has a silent P. Doesn't make sense because the P is the first letter of the word.
It's amazing. It's a brush pen. And if you squeeze it, ink comes out, and you can draw really slim lines or really thick lines really quickly.
Oh.
And I told myself I was going to force myself to use this pen, even though it looks like shit. I was going to really, like, I'm going to use this pen. I need to learn how to draw
digital pens, kind of.
Without the whole circle thing again.
This is a good form of practice, especially if you're struggling with line confidence. Drawing with a pen forces you to choose carefully and think about each mark you're about to put on the paper, since once you place that mark, you can't take it off or erase it. So you have to...
I just have a memory of my art teacher, like my drawing teacher. They always liked me a lot because those were my favorite classes and I was like one of the best drawers in the class. But I was better back then because I used to draw a lot more. But I had this bad habit of the bottom of my hand would always brush on the paper and it would make my drawings like dirty. And so one of my assignments, I got a lot of points deducted because of that, because they said my lines weren't clean. So I told my other drawing professor about that, and she told me to use a pen that had less like grease into it. You know, like the pens, they're graded from like 2H to 4B, and like the more you go in numbers, like the B's are more greasy and thicker, and then the H is like a very pale line, very clean. Yeah, the smear. Yeah, she told me try the H pen, and that fixed a lot of. But I've always had very poor positioning when I drew, and I have poor positioning when I play as well because my hand hurts at some places that it rubs the desk, and it's definitely not supposed to rub the desk.
Think carefully about the proportions and the shapes of the forms you're trying to draw in your head, and try to visualize it on the paper. Really good practice. You should try it sometime. That is if you're ready to see how truly bad you are.
It felt like taking 100 steps back, but
fuck that teacher. It's hard to draw with horseshoes.
That's how you have to improve, you know? You have to get out of your comfort zone. It's still so hard with proportions,
Oh, that
man.
looks
like,
so nice,
everything is
though.
slightly off, it's gonna suck. So yeah, this felt like a little side quest, but I'm glad I took it.
Wow.
And yeah, it was really fun.
I actually
so
love
far,
that.
We've seen a lot of heads and faces, and for the most part, it looks like that's all PewDiePie has been drawing. I want to see him practice other things like hands and feet or muscles of the back or something, but we'll see.
Finally, after I don't know 300 days of drawing, I picked up an art book. I should have done this ages ago. So I picked up a couple art books, some more technical than others. I picked up books about perspective because I want to learn and I want to understand this. And I think finally that clicked in me. It went from me just wanting to sketch whatever to no, I actually want to understand these things so I can draw them better. And I wish I did that sooner.
Art books are very important if you're really serious about improving your art. And I know some people say they're overrated.
I suggest just buying, if you're gonna do that, just buy one book, read it, then buy another one. Because when I was in college, I bought tons of these art books and I never got through them. It's a waste of money if you don't actually read them. You just get lost into the, I need to buy things to get better, but not actually doing it. So I don't really mind the road he took. A lot of the time, when we try to start new hobbies, we're like, oh, but I need these things for the hobby. And then you never actually practice the hobby itself. You just get lost into the purchasing stuff. Or maybe that's just my spending habit kicking in. I don't know.
Especially when you mention Andrew Loomis. But there are still really good art books out there, and you're literally just one Google search away from finding a book that could change your life. Well, it can't directly change your life, but at least you'll learn some things from it, which could then change your life.
I had sketched so much and it feels embarrassing to admit this, but like everyone was so amazed by my 101 that I felt like, okay, well, my year one has to be really good, right? Like, but progress isn't a straight line. Like,
yeah, now I try not to fall into this. You guys, does happen to you? Yeah, even for my horseback riding lesson, I was like, I am not buying anything, I'm just going in there. And after a few classes, my teacher was like, you know, Rima, I think now it's time that you buy your own helmet. Stop using the one from the class. And I had to go buy my own gear.
I think I was being too hard on myself, where I was getting close to a year and I'm like, I don't have anything to show for it.
Wow, that actually makes a lot of sense. Progress isn't a straight line. Sometimes you may feel like you're in a downward spiral and everything seems to be falling apart. But in the end, it all works out for good.
It happens, you overthink instead of just doing the hobby. I guess I'm still trying to figure out a hobby for me. My advice is to find something that you used to enjoy as a child, if you can't think of something like right now. Yeah, something you used to enjoy as a child, but you didn't have maybe the financial freedom or even the autonomy to try it. So it doesn't have to be something that you used to do, just something that you wanted to do.
And you'll get over whatever it is you're struggling with.
I drew a full body one, and I'm like comparing it to my 80-day one, and I'm like, the 80-day one is still better. Even though it's just like full body, it's still better.
Okay, first off, this drawing looks pretty good. I think I actually prefer the full figure to the face. Well,
I like the face better.
The face will look better because he probably took his time and tried to color it perfectly. And he was already pretty comfortable just drawing faces. But drawing the full figure is new territory to him, so it's normal not to be confident in your drawings at first until you then get the hang of it.
I think I wanted to learn to draw and actually understand anatomy.
I think it's a good method that he's just like doing black and white sketch. That way you don't get lost in the sauce of trying to do something too complicated and then giving up halfway. It's easy. You do it in 1 hour, then it's done. Then you move on. And then tomorrow, you do it a little bit better. It's kind of like when I was trying to learn singing. And then one day, I did a bunch of recording of the song. I spent 10 hours recording a song. And then the next day, I was like, I need to retake some parts that don't sound so good. And then I sang 10 times better than on day one. I don't know why, something unlocked. Sometimes when you sleep on things, it actually just helps. You just become better. I don't know how.
Before, it didn't matter to me. It was just a hobby, but now I'm like, I want to actually know, like, how do you draw legs?
Welcome to my in-depth tutorial on drawing thick, juicy legs, PewDiePie. You see, the thing about drawing legs is you have to consider the shape and flow of it. There are no parallel lines when drawing legs. Each line flows into the next. So you start off by drawing... Sorry to cut you off there, but if you want to see me finish that tutorial and show you how to draw legs like these, then go subscribe to my second channel.
I really did push myself a lot towards the end here. And that's when I bought an iPad. Coming in clutch last minute. Super satisfying to draw with a pen on an iPad. But obviously it was way different. So again, it was like a last minute learning curve of me not understanding the program and...
Had the same problem with the iPad with my hand rubbing on it and kind of like just fucking up the sensitivity of my... It's kind of like I was smearing the iPad, you know, with my palm. So I had to buy a glove for that.
Yada yada yada.
I'm sure there's going to be people making fun of PewDiePie for buying an iPad when he can't even draw comfortably on paper.
He has money and time.
No, because now everything's digital, so you might as well just learn how to draw digital, which sucks. I kind of miss just being able to draw on paper.
Whatever he wants.
So I started off just sketching, and I was still too scared to draw bodies. I drew this, which I thought was going to be amazing.
It's not the same.
And I ended up really hating it. I think the colors are fun, but I didn't know how to draw hair. I at least tried to draw like a full body, but I was so scared of getting it wrong that I think I just made it look weird.
Okay. It's not the best painting I've seen, but it isn't entirely bad. So far, I'll say he indeed has potential and will likely do so much better given time.
So I practiced drawing hair, but it's just like nothing interesting about it. This is just
the
to
hand,
try it
lol.
out.
The hands. The hands. You need to practice more hands, Felix.
And then I thought, okay.
Oh, that's pretty.
You guys.
Wow.
I started the line work. I tried my best to draw the actual hands. This is gonna be so good. And this is the end result. And I genuinely hate looking at it.
Oh, really?
I've looked at it so much, it just pisses me off. In my head, it was going to be so much more, you know?
Yeah, that's one thing. To have something in your hand, not being able to draw it, it's a frustrating thing.
Getting like, oh, cool. That was it, huh?
Yeah, it looks muddy. It looks muddy, that's why you hate it. The line art was really good, but somewhere along the line, the colors just stopped working, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
It looks like he ended up going a little too dark in the shadows, which just made the entire painting look muddy and out of place. It's also missing a little bit of color contrast and warm and cool shadows. There's decent light direction.
Oh, wow,
but
he has very precise directions.
The forms to show how they sit on the face, which is...
Damn, this guy's really good at analyzing what's wrong with an artwork.
Is what makes everything look so out of place, but it's a decent attempt anyway.
I desperately tried to draw something else because I don't know, like I felt like I could do more, but I kept drawing and I couldn't. Like it just came out looking weird and unsatisfying. This was supposed to be like the most simplest thing ever, like black high contrast with some color. Still, I didn't like it.
I think a good way to approach painting with color is not to start off painting with color. You need to understand values and lighting and form first. Then you can start practicing with color and slowly carry on what you learned from values into your use of color. There's so many artists that teach this, but some of my favorite are Mike Azevedo's tutorial on color and light. Sam Nielsen also has good tutorials on color and light, and you can also get the color and light art book from James Kern. It teaches all the principles of color and how light affects it. And then you can take all that knowledge and start practicing painting fruit on your desk and painting some of your favorite movie scenes.
But I still felt like I could do more. So I sketched for a couple days and I told myself I'm going to give one last effort. I have to really like it to actually sketch it. And this is the last thing I drew. I finished it yesterday.
It looks like the artworks you find on Pinterest.
Finally happy with it.
I think it's not bad. He definitely improved with his painting. There's some surface scattering going on and some lighting from above, some catch lights on the hair. Pretty decent. Good job, Felix.
I think for a year progress, yeah. Am I allowed to be happy?
Of course. Should be.
It took a lot of paint to get there, you know? Like, let's compare. Day 1, day 365.
Wow. Okay, so he did that 1 hour a day for a whole year? That's very disciplined. Wow.
I don't know, maybe.
If only I could do that with working out.
Maybe you guys disagree, but I feel like I finally beat my 80-day whatever. This is still better. I don't know.
So
the green-haired girl's just hotter.
Successfully stamped his mark or left his footprint in the metaphorical sands of time of the art community and has become one of the fastest artists to improve, going from drawing like absolute dog shit on paper to making digital art close enough to get him a paid job offer working for Genshin Impact. Anyone can repeat the same steps he took and improve in their art as well, as long as they're consistent with it and learning the right way, which is from carefully picked tutorials and art books, all tailored to what aspect of your art you're struggling with and trying to improve on at that moment. But of course, we have some genuinely concerned individuals on the internet who believe PewDiePie is cheating and hacking human nature because apparently he's rich and has all the time he needs to draw and do.
He's hacking human nature. You don't need to be millionaire gifted genetics for you to learn to drawing good. My friend is a math teacher in middle class family that barely have time but manage to drawing good. And no artist shitting people who can't draw. Only you who can't draw shitting on artists.
Whatever he wants, unlike other beginner artists who are struggling to make ends meet, which is undeniably true to an extent. But of course, I wouldn't expect you to just up and quit everything you have going in your life just because you want to.
I'm not being a hater, but let us not forget Pew has time and money. Like when I come how from my shift, I got to cook, walk the dog, take care of X and Y, leaving me little free time, hence hindering me. Pew can afford to just draw all day long, all week long. Does it mean he has not deserved our praise? No, it showed that anyone, even if not in 100 days, can be an artist. I mean, he's probably really busy too. He took the time to do it. You're always going to be busy. There's always going to be tons of things. Yeah, he also, yeah. Okay.
To pursue art and try to improve, especially if you don't have any savings or
yeah, he has a family too.
Backup plan.
It's just an hour. I mean, an hour is a lot in some days, but yeah, it all comes down to the priorities.
If this doesn't work out how you expected it, I think you need to have at least a certain level of comfort if you want to pursue art, because
people with free time to complain on the internet are people with free time to draw. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! So true! Speak louder for the people in the back. Stop complaining on Twitter and just do it. One of the reasons I picked up art as a child is because it literally was the only pastime I could afford, because it was essentially free. I also used to write quite a lot for the same reason. Sheesh!
You're going to spend a lot of time, a lot of brain power, and your mental health is definitely going to be in shambles along the way, so you should be prepared for that as well. It doesn't mean if you're bombarded with work or you have a lot of things going on in your life, you can't take a few hours or a couple of minutes to draw in your.
Didn't he also say they was spending 10 minutes a day drawing? There's just no way you don't have 10 minutes a day to spend on drawing. I feel like all these people are just suffering from hating on PewDiePie syndrome. They're just like kinda, it's cathartic for them to complain online. People go online, to complain. It is what it is. Feel better about themselves and their life. Especially, they're comparing themselves to somebody that has like better life quality than them. So yeah, of course it's affecting them. But comparison is the killer of joy, and they say that for a reason.
Your day, that could also work as well, as long as you're doing it consistently over a period of time. Money, on the other hand, doesn't have much to do with how quickly your skills will develop as an artist. Buying every new drawing tablet that comes out every year is not going to make you draw better if you're not
He literally wrote out exactly what he did, and the first point was to not spend a bunch of money of supplies you don't need. Oh my god, yeah, based. Felix's consistency is what let him get better. That's his true gift. He's done this with other things as well, just not giving up is how he succeeds.
Every new drawing tablet that comes out every year is not going to make.
The money argument isn't meant as in, wow, he can afford high quality paper and pencils, but more as so in, damn, he can choose to draw kind of whenever he wants while I barely have time to do anything after work.
You draw better if you're not practicing the fundamentals. So does buying expensive pens and pencils. Start practicing with whatever is available to you. Focus on following a structured study routine that has you learning each of the fundamentals of art over a span of months and slowly try to improve on one part of your drawings at a time. PewDiePie's art journey shouldn't make you want to quit art or discourage you from trying to be a better artist. Instead, use that as motivation to become even better. If PewDiePie can learn art from scratch at 35 years of age, so can you too, no matter how old you are. As long as you're practicing consistently and showing up for yourself and holding yourself accountable instead of beating yourself up for no reason, you will become an even better artist than PewDiePie. All it takes is time and some good old-fashioned dedication.
Well, it how's
like
it going?
Made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, share this video with a friend, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. With all that being said, I'll see all you pretty penguins in the next video. Bye.
How PewDiePie became a better artist than half the art community overnight. Ouch! I mean, with thumbnails like this, of course they're mad. He's a shonen protagonist, it's just his artist arc. He seems like a disciplined person. It's kind of like me with going to the gym, you know? Not gonna happen.